Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 21 of City Skylines. So since I last played there has been a patch to City Skylines and what did they address in this patch? I don't hear anybody cry ever. Well, I'm glad you didn't ask. What have they done? Well, most of it was minor bug fixing and just little tweaks here and there. They did do a couple of... got another building on fire. They did do a couple of what I would call quality of life changes. So, for instance, you can now upgrade between one-way and two-way streets. But the main thing that they addressed was a bug that the game had. Now, it's not something that I'd noticed, not directly anyway, but apparently the game suffered from a little bit of a bug where having parks, because parks cause happiness, which is the same thing that commercial areas do, having parks would actually reduce the demand for commercial, and that was causing some problems in some cities and stalling growth. So they have apparently addressed that issue. So it's been about a week since I've played. I haven't played since the patch, so we'll see how things go. As you can see, I've got a massive demand for commercial now, since that they have made that change. And I'm just sort of coming back in, trying to remember what I was doing. We've got a few empty buildings, which I don't suppose we're ever going to get rid of completely. We do definitely need to go ahead and get ourselves some more commercial. In fact, let's just have a look at zoning at the moment. We don't really have any commercial over here. Let's go ahead and we can take ourselves a big block because it isn't being used. If we take all of this area, for example, let's take that out. And we can take that out. And maybe even this whole middle bit here. Let's go ahead and take all of that out, and then we'll replace all of this with high-density commercial. That block there will probably stay, but it's not too much of a problem. So let's go ahead, get some more high-density commercial in there. Now, one thing that I would like to do, what's this building here? Is that a incineration plant? Yeah, it's probably going to be needed. One thing that I would like to do is try and get rid of a lot of the industry and replace it with office space, because I think that will reduce the pollution overall, and that's going to help quite a bit. We do seem to be having some health issues around. It's probably mainly caused by traffic, but we've got citizens being sick. What is our health over in the area? What's our sort of hospital coverage? There's a hospital right there. But of course, having the one-way street doesn't help because the vehicles have to go all the way around in the other direction. Maybe if we go ahead and just put a... even that doesn't really want to reach too far out, does it? It's a little bit strange sometimes the way in which it works. Or should I say the way in which it doesn't work. Still having a few traffic problems. Let's have a look at that. Still mainly around here. Mainly caused by the industrial area. Can we go ahead and convert that into a one-way street? It'd be nice if we could. So let's see if it works. Let's go in and go into roads. We want the upgrade roads button. And these are 4-lane. So, well, we can't have a 4-lane one-way street, unfortunately. I don't even think we could make it into a 6-lane. Possibly could. We could make it all one way in the other direction. If we right-click, it changes the route. Yep, so we want it to all go that way. And turn that one. People are becoming a little bit unhappy, mainly because the trees are going. Because we're upgrading a 4-lane road with trees into a 6-lane road without trees. But if we upgrade this to the same sort of type, but make them all run in the right direction. So we want these streets all going to the right. And then this should help alleviate at least some of the traffic issues. So maybe that will speed things along a little bit. We'll keep our eye on it and see what happens with a few jackknife vehicles in the road and stuff like that. So there we go. Now we still have a lot of industry here, and I did say that I would like to get rid of some of this if possible and start replacing it with a little bit of office space. So let's consider doing that. Let's go in and grab ourselves the dezoning tool, and we'll start by dezoning. Let's go for these 4 areas here. We'll get rid of those, and we will go for office space in these. We just need the rest of the buildings that are here to all disappear. They should all disappear quite quickly. There's one that can be completely zoned with office space. Yep, there's another one. These ones should go very, very quickly. Come on, guys. Empty up. I want to rezone this area. We just need this one to go away now, and I can rezone this area. And then hopefully that'll give us a little bit less pollution. There's a bit of space here that we can use either side of this road, so let's not be shy about doing that. You still haven't gone yet. I'm just going to go ahead and bulldoze these last couple... Oh, no, we don't want to get rid of that one. That's the crematorium, but we can get rid of those and put in a bit more office space. There we go. So office space will provide jobs, but it means we won't have the pollution. But because we'll have a lack of industry, our places will have to sort of import their stuff in from outside. Overall, the rest of the place doesn't seem to be going too bad. Now, what have I got in terms of building space? I've still got a little bit of space on the south side of the river over here, which I probably should build something on. And then over on this side of the sort of main road and down where we have the rail, we've got a lot of space over here. Right down into this forested area, actually. One thing that I still didn't fix is the passenger trains, because we don't have a sort of a loop. And that is something that I will need to fix at some point. We're still having a lot of problems over here with sickness, which is really weird given the fact that there is a hospital right here. There shouldn't be any trouble at all with vehicles being able to get to these houses. And in fact, you can actually see the coverage is right here, so I'm not too sure why the health here is low. It doesn't really give me an indication of why the health here is low. Let's have a look. Are you going to tell me? Oh, because the ground is polluted. Ah, okay. So it's actually the incineration plant that's causing the issue then. So let's go ahead and move that incineration plant and move it away from any of the residential. I'm sure those incineration plants cause more pollution than they used to. They certainly seem to have a much wider... pollution range now than they did before. So... with that in mind, then, let's leave it where it is just for 2 seconds, and we will make a service road, and we will do that. We'll have a two-way road with trees, and we'll just build that out over here in that direction, and then we'll go ahead and move that incinerator. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. The incinerator can move over here. Needs water. It will cause a bit of pollution, but not nearly as much because it's further away. The demand for the commercial has gone away quite quickly, so that's fine. I know that's not straight with the road, but I was trying to run straight with the existing pipe, not straight with the road. So the grid line does allow me to snap between the two. So this ground pollution should start to go away, hopefully quite quickly. We can go ahead and get some trees and pop them in. Would still be nice if they go ahead at some point and put in some sort of tree painting tool, so you didn't have to sort of do this manually. But hopefully this will get rid of some of the pollution. And people now aren't having their trash collected. There's not a great deal I can do about that. At the risk of putting in another intersection and making this street even more busy, I guess we can just go ahead and build a connection there. Now, I know a lot of people have... that was the wrong type of street, wasn't it? It was supposed to be a... oh, it's a two-lane street. It's just a lot wider than this one for some reason. Oh, because it doesn't have... it's because it's not tree-lined. There we go. That's better. I know a lot of people... well, not a lot of people, just a few people have been watching these videos, and they get a little bit annoyed that I don't build roads straight, and, you know, that I... well, basically just that. I don't build roads straight, and things aren't always parallel, but do you know what? That's what cities are like in the real world. I mean, okay, maybe big American cities like New York and a few of the more sort of modern British cities like Milton Keynes are built on grid systems, but you go to almost any other city in Great Britain, and that's pretty much what the streets are like. I mean, it's very hard to find a straight road at all in Great Britain. We still have a lot of traffic using this road down here. We've got a few empty houses and a few people falling sick. Again, there is a bit of pollution there, and that's mainly because of this incineration plant. So let's go ahead and build another road out away from the area. We don't want the upgrade tool for this one. So let's just go ahead and build a straight road out here, and then we can move that incineration plant, and people hopefully won't get quite as sick there. I'm not too sure if that's something that has changed, if they've actually made the incineration plants put out more ground pollution or not. I don't know. We've got an empty house there anyway, which we should definitely go and get rid of if we can. We've got a little bit of crime over in this area. What is our police reach like over here? Well, there is a police station, but it's not in a great spot. Let's go pop another one. Obviously, you've got to remember, because it's one-way traffic, that the cars can only sort of respond downstream. So I guess we could go ahead and put one sort of... again, depends on which side of the road they're on. But down here should probably enough to reach. Just about. So we should be good there. Another couple of empty buildings. So, okay, that's most of the issues dealt with for the time being. We're always going to have a few sick people. There's not a great deal we can do about it. Again, we'll throw some trees in and just try and get a few trees to grow and sort the pollution out, hopefully. But we'll always have a few sick people around here until things start to return to normal. Let's get a few of these big things in, just something that actually has some greenery on it. So that's fine. Got a few fires going on, but apart from that, the city's not in totally bad shape. You get very focused on micromanaging every single little building that's burnt down and stuff like that. We have an empty cemetery here. I guess this cemetery doesn't need to be empty, so let's just leave it on. I'll put it back to stop emptying. That's causing a bit of pollution, but I don't think it's causing a lot of sickness, so that is fine. We are getting a lot of sick people around, though, aren't we? I suppose this pollution will go away over time, but it will take time, so that's not too bad of a thing. But we can already see that we're starting to lose some pollution in the area where the industry was. So it's definitely a good thing to get rid of a lot of the industry where you can. We've still got some call for commercial, but let's go ahead into our zoning tool again. And we'll de-zone a couple more of these areas here. Let's get rid of all of those ones. And then we'll put office space back in as soon as they have sorted themselves out. Obviously, we can't get rid of that building there, but that one we can rezone. These ones should all empty out quite quickly. Are those last few buildings going to go? Let's just speed things up a little bit. Bit more space in here that we could use, but we'll wait till we do those whole zones. There we go. So we can rezone those. That's fine. Might as well leave it on the top speed for now. No reason why not. So let's go and consider where we should start building. We're still getting this constant nagging about crossroads and intersections over here. I guess the traffic is quite busy. Mainly this intersection. It's not the worst it's ever been. The traffic does still seem to be flowing more or less. What's going on with the tweet here? Weird smell coming from the apartment, like dead people. Very, very strange. Oh, well, I'm not too bothered about that. I think we'll leave things going. Are these actually my buses now? Oh, wow, that's cool. I don't think... I didn't realise that before. Maybe that's something that's changed, but the buses actually are now colour-coded to the colour of the line now. Maybe they were before. I hadn't noticed, but if you actually look at different buses, the line colour actually changes the bus colour. That's quite a neat feature. I hadn't noticed that before. And somebody did also tell me that you can change the colour of a line by actually clicking on the line itself. Maybe not with the tool. Maybe if you go to the sort of public transport tool, wherever that is. You can just actually click on the line. Ah, brilliant. That's fantastic. You've got to be careful, though, because remember, some of the lines are shared. So, like this one here, this line is the green line and the purple line. So how do I select the green line? By click. I mean, I know I can select the green line by clicking there, but if you imagine that I had two lines that were running almost identical routes, it's very difficult to click the other line. So you've got to be careful with that. But either way, I do quite like that feature. So we're all going to be building on the other side of the main road here. Seems to make a lot of sense. We're paused for some reason. I must have hit the pause key accidentally. Well, we still have a lot of call for commercial. I guess we could go ahead and have sort of like a big commercial area. Or do we want to try and build a big commercial area in one of our existing areas and use some of the space that we still have left? Because we do still have, in some places, I mean, look at this. There's quite a lot of space here. We could get away with having quite a large commercial area in this space. And we've also got, I mean, we could build some more commercial up here as well. I was saving this for residential, but I mean, look at the pollution here. This is an industrial area, and it's going to get quite nasty quite quickly. So, yeah, we definitely need to try and squeeze in some more commercial where we can. So, what about a little bit in this corner here? Tempted to try and link this road up somewhere. Got to be careful with that, because the last thing we want is to end up with... the last thing we want to do is end up with too many intersections, because we all know how that ends up. So let's go ahead and join up here. And then, unfortunately, we are going to do a couple of grids, because I do want to maximise the space here. I know it seems like a bit of a waste when I could just turn around and build on the other side of the river. We will do. But it would just be quite nice to utilise the space that we have a little bit better. Won't let me build there for some reason, but I guess we can go out this way a little bit further. So let's go ahead and get the... do we want a high density commercial? Let's just go for the low density commercial here. And we'll fill all of this in with low density commercial. A little bit of pollution around. Now, we should already have water there, I think. Just a little tiny space here that isn't covered, but we can fix that by moving that pipe up further along. Water availability is nearly at our capacity. Let's have a look at the budget. What do we want? Budget. Our water is already at 120%. Maybe we are going to have to build another water pump at some point. That's fine. What about our taxes? What are our taxes looking like? We can leave that for the time being. So, what do I want to do next? Like I said, we probably will need another water pump. These are our water pumps on this side. We've already got quite a few of them. Or is that our drainage? Where are our water pumps? That's outlet. Ah, there's our water pumps. They're all on this side. Can we get another one over on here? And connect it up to one of the existing pipes? Or am I going to have to do it manually? I guess we can fit one in there. So let's go ahead and do that. And shouldn't have got rid of the interface because I need to go and join it up with a pipe. So it's this one here. You can connect up. There we go. So they're all connected. That should sort out the water problem. Still got a few abandoned buildings and a few that have burnt down. Oh, that one just disappeared on its own. I didn't even have to do anything about it. There's still a few burning down. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult for the fire department to get to some of these places. Let's have a quick look at zoning. We do have a zone here. Well, not a zone, but a region. Let's go ahead and make sure they have smoke detector distribution. I think that's a very important thing to have almost everywhere, really. I think it helps an awful lot with things. What do we like on other stuff like power? Power availability is not the best, but it's okay for now. We can, of course, build nuclear power plants now. The power plant does not create ground pollution, but it does emit noise pollution, and it has high water usage. Now, if we compare that to something like the solar plant, and we're not bothered about the purchase cost because, you know, we've got plenty of money. We could easily afford to buy it. Upkeep. 1,200 upkeep on a solar plant and 8,000 upkeep on a nuclear plant. Noise pollution is double that of a solar plant, but 160 megawatt output to 640 megawatt output. So it is quite a jump in terms of power. I don't think we need to worry about one of those just yet. I think we've got enough power from our solar plants, and I'll probably hold off getting a nuclear one unless we absolutely desperately need to. Landfill usage is generally good. We don't have any landfills at all. Incineration status is struggling a bit. Can we increase the budget for our garbage collection? It's already at 105%. We've got the money, and I don't want to build more incinerators everywhere, because the problem with that is it'll just end up causing more ground pollution. I was going to say incinerators, and I was also going to say furnaces, and almost ended up saying infernos. So this cemetery is full. We can start emptying it to another facility for the time being. What else do we have going on here? A little bit of crime up in this area, but things generally not too bad. Maximising the space. Still got a bit more demand for commercial. I think one of the main things that I want to do at the moment is try and just balance the commercial out now, because this is obviously a new issue caused by the sort of change in the most recent patch. And again, I want to try and get rid of a lot of the industrial here, because it has been here for a long time and it has created a lot of pollution, and I don't think we need to have it here. So we'll go around and get rid of as much of the industrial in this area as we sort of safely can. Do I want to take any more of this industrial out? Probably. It's probably been here long enough. So let's go. A lot of little sort of spaces here that were missed at some point. This tool should highlight everything on all of these spaces. I shouldn't have to go around and manually click individual squares, but there you go. So let's go ahead and... oh, we've still got some more down here that apparently we've missed. Although I know I definitely clicked on that one. So let's go ahead and get some more office space, because the office space is really good. Look, there again, it's reappeared there, look. Why do you keep changing back to why do you keep changing back to office to industrial space? You're supposed to be office. A little bit weird. So I have been speaking to a couple of people who said that as they play it more and more, they do keep finding the occasional little bug here and there. I mean, that is understandable. You know, games do have bugs. They take a long time to sort out. But I'm sure they'll get there eventually. We'll leave that can be done as well, I suppose. We'll just do that for now. We'll sort the rest out when we come back to it. What else do we want to do? We've still got a rising need for commercial. What this little area that we built over here for the commerce, this one is already almost completely full. Maybe we should consider having ourselves a sort of a bigger commercial area. What we could do, and I know some people are really upset by this roundabout. I mean, the design's solid in principle, but some people are a little bit upset because the triangles aren't exactly perfect on each roundabout, but oh well. What we could do here is we could grab a road, something like a one-way, two-lane street, and run it directly across the middle. Would it allow me to do that? No. Was worth a try. What I was thinking of is because obviously traffic's going in one way, we could have just like a sort of a single turn off. I don't want to create intersections though, which is the problem. So we won't bother putting anything in the middle, as nice of an idea as that could have been. We've got more fires going on over there. So let's consider getting a big chunk of high density commercial in. Let's go off of these this area here somewhere. So I think what we'll do is we will stick with a oh, we don't want to take the park out, do we? We'll stick with a two-lane road. And we will try and utilize as much of the space as possible, destroying a few houses along the way. And we will try and then join it back up with the road over here if we can. Now, why are you telling me the space is already occupied? Clearly the space is already occupied, but I just want to join up to a road. And you don't seem to want to allow me to join up to a road, do you? So, let us see if we can go... Guess we can do that and then... Wow, that's going to be an interesting road, isn't it? Why won't you... You've got to be a curved road, has it? Okay, I'll live with it. It's kind of worked. And it's not a very big area, I'll grant you. But we can go and get some high density commercial. And let's go ahead and fill this area up here. As you can see, they're already building there already, so it really was worth doing that. And what we could do, because we're not using all of this residential, we could get rid of a little bit of this residential area and just make this into the high density commercial as well. So let's go ahead and do that, as it's all next to one another, those two squares. Again, they've just turned back green. So, yeah, there's definitely a couple of little bugs in here that still need working out. There we go. So there's a bit more commercial. And a few more empty buildings. All in all, not too terrible. So what are we doing like on our money? I haven't actually looked at the money for a while, and I haven't looked at the population for a while, but we are still gaining some population, and we're still making quite a bit of money. And if we go and have a look at our number of households... we still have about 1,000 empty households, so we could certainly squeeze a few more people in. Just going to slow the game down because we're over the 20-minute mark, so that's probably a good place to call an end to the video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying City Skylines, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.